Good evening, everyone. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Povencorn? Here. Councilmember Wiggins? Here. Councilmember Scribner? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Here.
And Mayor Smith?
Here.
Everyone is present. Thank you.
Okay, we had a invocation scheduled, but if you would do it for us?
Yes, sir.
Everyone would stand and do the pledge to the flag.
Let's bow our heads together. Heavenly Father, we pause at this time and thank you that we still have the privilege to gather in public for meetings, for government, for church, and we don't have to live in fear with those things, like some places in our world. And I ask that you would go with this council this evening and help them with decision-making and be with the people of Tehachapi that they serve. And we ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Susan. And where's our flag?
Right there.
John, would you lead us in the pledge?
Salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
started to move here.
Okay, our consent agenda. All items on the consent are marked with an asterisk, considered non-controversial and routine. Is there anyone in the audience that would like something removed from consent for separate discussion? Council, anyone? Do I have a motion to approve consent as presented?
So move.
I second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes?
Councilmember Povencorn?
Yes.
Councilmember Scribner? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Yes.
This is a 5-0 vote to approve the consent agenda.
Okay. I have a presentation this evening, and this is for Pritika Ram. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So if you'll come around, and this is for the Kern County official, let's see, Community Action Partnership of Kern County. We'll just make it easy. All right, I'm gonna come around here. Watch where you walk right here. All right, you come up front here.
Okay, great.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, very good to meet you.
Yes. Well, I have a certificate of recognition. The Tehachapi City Council hereby recognizes the month of May as Community Action Month in the city of Tehachapi under the leadership of CPAC. No, CAPK.
Cap K, that's perfect.
CAPK, okay. What's that other one? All right, the city of Tehachapi would like to thank CAPK for the impact that their 17 poverty-fighting programs and more than 900 employees make each day in the lives of those facing hunger, economic insecurity, and loss. Please accept our humble thanks and appreciation for your work to assist residents of Tehachapi and Kern County to be self-sufficient. And I'd like to offer that to you.
Great, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Great, thank
Do you
you.
want to say a few words?
You know, I wouldn't mind.
Absolutely.
You gave me a script and I have to follow it.
That's fine.
So thank you for having me. We want to thank the Tehachapi City Council for declaring May as Community Action Month in Kern. Community Action Partnership was established in May of 1965 as Kern County's official anti-poverty nonprofit under the Johnson administration, specifically the War on Poverty. CAPK operates 17 programs that primarily serve Kern County, but we're up and down California depending on which service you're looking at. Specifically to Tehachapi Head Start, we have a site here on Tompkins. We also have a WIC office, and then we also do food bank distributions with the Salvation Army, as well as our senior food program with your senior center. In addition to that, we have 211, which is countywide. That's an informational service, and it's health and human service based. We also operate an energy program, which is around utility assistance as well as weatherization, and a migrant child care program, right? In addition to that, we also have a slew of about 930 employees throughout our system, and on average, we serve about 100,000 unique individuals annually. So just wanted to thank you for having us, and just really appreciate the recognition.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up here for us.
Of course, thanks so much.
Audience oral and written communications. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to bring something to our attention that's not on the agenda this evening? Seeing no one rushing to the podium. All right. Item number 4 looks like planning commission appointments due to the expiration of terms for Kim Nixon and Linda Hollingsworth. Yes.
All right, thank you, Mayor and council members. So it is exactly that. We have 2 planning commissioners whose terms are about to expire here at the end of June. So we're just asking that you direct staff to advertise for 2 positions for the Tehachapi Planning Commission with terms to expire on June 30th, 2026.
All right. Any discussion from the audience? Any discussion from the council? Yes.
I'd like to thank Linda Hollingsworth and Kim Nixon for a superb service to the city of Tehachapi, 4 years. I encourage both of them to apply, but also it's open to anyone that lives in the city of Tehachapi to apply.
All right. Thank you. Anyone from the council? Then I'll need a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
I'll second. Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes?
Councilmember Pogencourt?
Yes.
Councilmember Scrivener? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Yes.
It was a 5-0 vote to direct staff to advertise for 2 positions for the Tehachapi Planning Commission with terms to expire on June 30th, 2026.
Thank you. Financial Director's Report, item number 6, disbursements, bills, and claims for RSI Petroleum.
Mayor Smith, I need to recuse myself because I'm currently an employee of RSI Petroleum.
All right. All right. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to ask a question regarding RSI Petroleum and their payments due from the council? Do you have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes?
Councilmember Pogencourt?
Yes.
Councilmember Scrivener? Yes. Mayor Smith?
Yes.
It was a 4-0 vote to authorize the disbursements and bills for RSI Petroleum with a recusal from Mayor Pro Tem Davies.
Are we going too fast for anyone? We're okay? Everyone keeping up? All right. Police Chief reports, item number 11. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, sir.
Glad to see you here.
Yes, sir. Good to see you as well, council members. The item I have this evening for you is employee recruitment program for the Tehachapi Police Department. So as I'm sure you're all aware, law enforcement agencies across the nation are experiencing a recruitment and retention problem. It's been determined to be what we call a workforce crisis in law enforcement today. We're not getting the applicants that we got in previous years. The applicants that we do get aren't as qualified as they have been in the past. It's being extremely challenging to get qualified applicants. Here at the Tehachapi Police Department, we've had 1 police officer vacancy that we've held vacant for almost 9 months now, because we just haven't been able to get a good qualified applicant in to fill that position. It's even more problematic here in Kern County as we're competing with higher paying agencies down in Los Angeles County, and a lot of our agencies here in Kern County are currently offering hiring incentives, okay? Kern County Sheriff's Department recently just updated theirs, and they're offering a $25,000 hiring incentive for lateral transfers. They've been offering that for several years, and no one's taken them up on it yet. So it's really a challenging time for law enforcement. So we currently don't have a program in place. I'd like to institute a program here at the Tehachapi Police Department with your blessing, of course. We have a couple different components to it. First, for lateral hires, we'd like to offer a $10,000 hiring incentive, as well as give them 40 hours of vacation time upon hire. We have that spaced out over a period of 2 years, so that we're not giving them the lump sum of $10,000 up front, so that I can at least retain them for a period of 2 years when we pay them that money. So we're giving $5,000 upon initially being hired, $2,500 when they are off of probation, and another $2,500 at the end of 2 years. So That's what we'd like to do for lateral transfers, for entry-level police officers coming out of the academy. We'd like to do a $5,000 incentive for them as well. It really is kind of standard in our industry now, these hiring bonuses. Some are really, really high. I'd like to keep ours at least reasonable so that we can maintain it to get our vacancies filled. Along with that, we'd also like to offer an incentive for any employees of the city of Tehachapi to bring in qualified applicants. And if they do so, we'll give them an incentive as well, okay, upon successful completion of the hiring process with that applicant. I think it's going to benefit us. Total cost of this program, I can only estimate that right now. I have, I believe, about 7 positions forecasted over a period of the next 5 years. And if it was worst case scenario, lateral transfers with a city of Tehachapi employee referring that person, it comes out to about $80,000 over that period of time. Obviously, it could be more if I lose people, which is always a possibility. We've got people leaving law enforcement, leaving the state of California, going to other areas. So I think it's a critical point right now where we are that we establish this program, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anyone from the public have any questions? From the council?
Yeah, I do. Chief, have we looked at, I know there's a lot of academies out there, and I'm sure you have, but I'm just asking, have we made any contact with academies out there to pass along this
Yes, sir.
information?
I make contact with academies regularly. I have a scheduled visit. Personally, I go to the academies. A lot of these other agencies send staff members. Key Budget's gone with me to these academies on recruitment trips. I'll be at Tulare County on Thursday for a recruitment trip. So that's where we're at. I've got about 3 academies that I go and visit and provide them that information and try and entice people to come here. A lot of these academies are out of the area, which makes it a little more problematic. If I go down into LA County, it's really hard to entice people to come to Kern County and, leave that LA County or Orange County money that's available. So.
I know we've had VIPs in the past, me being a volunteer, I've seen it, for 26 years. But we got to start fresh, out of high school if we can get these young people to get involved, but I don't know if we're doing anything. I know we're trying, as Kern County Sheriff's Department, trying to recruit, but it seems like we're only getting people over 60 years old to come with our volunteer.
That's a challenge as well. We tried to build an Explorer program because that's generally your pipeline for your talent into law enforcement. They start off in those Explorer programs. I've got several of my former Explorers who are police officers elsewhere, Bakersfield PD, whatever. It's kind of an odd time now. It's really hard to get these kids interested in this field. We're doing everything we can to do so. Even our volunteer program, I think you and I discussed this previously, even our volunteer program has gone down slightly. We had probably a dozen at one time, and we're down to 3. COVID kind of hit our volunteer program hard because a lot of them are elderly, and we had to leave them at home. So yeah, it's a challenging time for law enforcement for sure.
Thank you, Chief.
Any other questions?
I'd just like to comment that we have to do this. We at least have to stay competitive, because if we don't have a recruitment program, nobody's going to come. So I admire you for your tenacity in getting this done, so that we, and hopefully, that law enforcement has had such a bad rap in the last few years. And I don't know if young people are like, they're bad, I don't want to go there. If we need to work on PR, I have no idea. But this is a good thing.
Yeah, to me, it's still the greatest profession in the world, and I hope to attract people and convince them of that as well, and get them on board. And this is a great place to work. We're kind of the hidden gem, and to convince people to get up here, and a little incentive may help, and hopefully it'll work.
I have one more question.
Go
And one more question, and this is kind of towards Jay. I'm going to put him on the spot, but Jay's always looking for grants for us. And is there anything with the state of California that helped us out with this type of thing? Chief, I'm sorry, I know
As far as
any incentive to help cities within California to promote?
Well, we have COPS. The COPS program offers hiring grants and things like that. Which assists cities with paying salaries and benefits for a period of time.
Okay.
Of course, with some matching funds in there. But that doesn't get the applicants in the door. I need to get the applicants in the door and get them here working. It just doesn't do that. So, and I can have grants all day long to fill 5 police officers, but if I don't have 5 police officers to fill those spots, the grants don't do me any good.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
So we're still dealing with issues with lateral transfers where CalPERS restricts folks from moving from entity to entity, town to town, or is that more in?
You can. There's a lot of little tricks to CalPERS. I'm not going to pretend like I know the answer to that fully because it's so tricky. I deal with Christy Copus over at HR with the CalPERS issues, and in the finance. It's really complicated. It depends on what system they came in under and what system they're going to, whether they're retired from a CalPERS system. It gets a little complicated. But CalPERS agency to CalPERS agency is not necessarily a problem.
Okay.
It just, you may have to, I had an individual that was at an agency that had the 3% 50 CalPERS. Well, coming here, he would surrender the 3% of 50 and come in at a lower rate. So that really doesn't entice him to come here to work for me.
Yeah, but there's plenty of, I'm sure, applicants out there that are new recruits that you're kind of looking at. You don't want all laterals unless you need more of that.
Right. Yeah.
It's a mix.
The problem with we've sponsored someone through the academy before. Officer Page was our first one here at the agency we sponsored through an academy. We put Officer Page through the academy. He successfully graduated, and he comes out here and he goes on field training. We're just with the training officer, experienced officer for another 6 months. So the concern with those is there really not a lot of value for about a year because of the academy time that they spend and then the training time that they have. They're not in a car on their own for about a year.
Yeah.
So you can kind of streamline that a little bit with a lateral transfer, somebody that's already been patrol trained.
Up and running.
Yeah. So, but right now I'm anxious to get laterals. I'm anxious to get entry level. I'm going to get some good qualified people up here to work in City of Tehachapi.
Yeah. See what we can. All right. So if there's no more discussion, Chief needs a motion then to
I'll make that motion
proceed.
as presented.
I'll second.
Councilmember Wiggins?
Yes.
Councilmember Pogencourt?
Yes.
Councilmember Scribner?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davies?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Yes.
It's a 5-0 vote to approve the proposed Tehachapi Police Department employee recruitment program.
Thank you.
Good luck, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you.
City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor Smith. Thank you, Chief Kreger. This is a very important decision that you made tonight, so I appreciate the 5-0 vote. We have to continue. We must continue to keep our city and our community as safe as it can be. That's for sure. So thank you. I'd like to ask Key Budge to come up to the podium. The city is participating in Bicycle Rodeo Day on Saturday, May 14th. So maybe Key, you could share some of the details.
Absolutely. Good evening. The Tehachapi Police Department will be hosting a bicycle safety rodeo for kids ages 12 and under right here in the parking lot at this nice facility that will be used to teach kids safety, make sure they understand street signs, and get to interact with law enforcement. So they'll get a chance to work with Chief and his team. CHP Mojave is going to come up and assist. Kern Council of Governments is behind this as well. Caltrans out of District 9 is going to also send down representatives to assist. and Bike Bakersfield. And they will be tuning up the kids' bikes, making sure they're safe. Helmets will be given away to the kids that need them, and it's just an opportunity for them to, for parents to make sure their kids are doing something safe. And this is something that Chief Greger wanted to be involved in, and so we're helping facilitate that.
Super.
Yeah.
What time? I'm sorry if you said it.
It'll be from 10 a.m. to noon
Okay.
on Saturday, May 14th, right here in the parking lot adjacent to the building.
Kids always like that one. I know
Yeah.
they do. It's
Yeah, I'm sure the chief will have some colored black and whites out there, and the kids will get a chance to, crawl through a black and white. In 20 years, they'll be able to maybe fill out an application.
Okay, thank you. That's it for city manager's reports. Anything from council, from Joan?
No,
Susan? Michael?
Not for me.
Christina? I'll get a couple. I was taking a walk the other day down Green Street North over the railroad tracks. Just before you get to the tracks, there's a hole this big in a cover of a utility cover. I thought, well, I should have just called it on that thing, but since I'm here and I remembered it. It's a utility box, and it's about a foot. A foot's going to get in there and break an ankle.
Okay.
All right. It's on the east side sidewalk approaching the crossing gate.
So not in the asphalt, but in the concrete.
In the concrete, there's a utility box with a broken cover.
Thank you.
Anyway, that's really important. I mean, someone approached me regarding the end reflectors for medians, like on Tucker and where we have medians, that we don't have any reflective things that there used to be. I could see where there was a glued-on reflector that some of them are missing now.
Yeah, so that's Caltrans, State Highway 202. We're very aware of it. Caltrans replaces them on a regular basis. Dawn is working closely with Caltrans to potentially take over that piece of their maintenance. As you know, we have a contract with Caltrans for the cleaning of the litter cleanup on 202 in the city of Tehachapi. We're also working with them to clean up maybe the grit and the asphalt that they put down for the snow. What's the word I'm looking for, Don? The center, thank you. Center and sand they put down with snow. You'll notice it's still there. We've been on them, but it's still there. So there's some maintenance challenges on Tucker Road that Don is working with Caltrans to hopefully overcome.
Even if it's on the median instead of a post that gets knocked over, it could be painted.
Yes.
I have to admit, that's coming in from the freeway, and it just blends in. You have to swing wide to get in front to head east.
I know exactly what you're talking about. At the Valley and at Tehachapi Boulevard.
Yeah,
There are a couple areas.
where the medians are.
Yeah, Caltrans will put a reflector there, and the next day it's been knocked over.
Yeah,
But
so
we're
maybe-
looking to manage that.
Maybe painted on, or on the curb itself.
We've discussed that also.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Or one that knocks off and another one pops up automatically.
Maybe just on spring.
Yes. All right.
No, seriously.
You get 5 uses and you get another one.
No, I completely, it's, yeah,
Just a-
legitimate.
Then I cornered Corey in the store the other day, since he was grocery shopping. There he is. I was commenting on the contractor for the trees, where they're really meeting a challenge with those spindly trees and the high winds. You got the 3 posts, which should be good enough, but now they're putting bamboo stakes up in the middle, and then the bamboo stake
Yeah.
falls over and it helps. I don't know if they're broken trees now or if it's just bent to heck.
I forgot about that. I was
But just commenting,
Challenging area, high winds. The trees that were selected are hardwoods, so a couple of years from now, they should be less limber. They're under a 1-year warranty, so Marina goes out there frequently and ties them back up. Spring is always very windy. Our guys actually are giving them a little helping hand, but we're doing everything we can to try to get them growing straight in this challenging windy spring season.
Because we just don't want 100 trees. They all lean a little, but there's a couple that probably should be removed on Tehachapi Boulevard because they lean so much. It's just they're an eyesore almost. Just my 2 cents.
And I noticed, I counted about 8 to 10 that might be dead already, so, yeah.
Those are
When I
under
went down.
warranty, yeah.
So, on Tehachapi Boulevard, when I went down,
Okay.
that one's it, that one's it.
If that's the worst thing we have to complain about, we're doing okay, right?
Yep.
Okay, with that then, no other council reports. We're going to go into closed session. If there's anything to approve, we'll come back in here and announce that.